totally agree with you right there. So I want to kind of shift to Tua Tagovailoa, and I'm going to talk about Jalen Hurts a little bit. So Tua goes to Miami. I think that he's in a great position to succeed. I really like what Brian Flores is doing down there in Miami. I felt that they overachieved this year. I felt they had a pretty solid draft. Tua, he's very accurate, very good football IQ in my opinion. My one issue with Tua, though, however, is that I think that he thinks he's more mobile than he actually is. I think that he's much better suited just staying in the pocket and delivering those darts and picking you apart underneath and in the intermediate and short game. I think that he has a pretty solid deep ball, but he's not like Mahomes. He's not like Aaron Rodgers. I don't want him bombing the ball consistently down the field. That's just not the type of quarterback he is. I think the Miami Dolphins realize that. And you talked about in your episode about Tua Tagovailoa when you covered him is that you think that Tua Tagovailoa is a system quarterback. And I kind of totally agree with you. So kind of talk about what you mean by a system quarterback and where you think Tua fits in as far as what the Dolphins are trying to do. And kind of talk about just what you think of him as a player. My other knock is that, not this year, but last year, he kind of got pushed around a little bit by Mississippi State, by Georgia. He didn't have the best game versus Clemson. And he had a lot of talent around him. He had Jerry Jeudy. He had Henry Ruggs. He had a very good offensive line, very good running back. So I just wanted to see him perform a little bit better versus some of the more elite defenses. But again, I think that he's very talented. I think that he's going to work in the NFL if he stays healthy. And the Dolphins surround him with very good players. So kind of talk about where you fall on Tua.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. He is a system quarterback. And when I say system quarterback, that's not an insult like a lot of people believe. It just means that, he is the kind of guy that in a certain system, he will excel. And his skill set excels in a system that is very much like the one Chan Gailey runs, where you're spreading people out, you're getting the ball out quick. Everything's kind of working 10 yards and under from the line of scrimmage, and then if you are going to take a shot, again, it's something like a fade or a go ball where you're getting the ball out really quick, because on those kind of throws, even though you are attacking deep, you're not kind of like, taking the 7-step drop and waiting for stuff to come open. It's 3 steps, set, fire. And so that's really what he is best at, and that's what Chan Gailey likes to prioritize. So it is a match made in heaven system-wise. And that's why I think that he's going to be productive in Miami as a system quarterback, because he is in a system that suits what he does. Again, that is not an insult. That's just realistic. He's not an athlete that you want to, like the system the Ravens run. He wouldn't be successful there because he's not the right kind of athlete. He's not the kind of athlete that works in a Bruce Arians type system either, because he doesn't have that great of an arm where we're taking those 7-step drops and we're hanging in there and we're firing darts, deep down the field in tight windows. Like that's not what he is. So I think it's a really great fit in Miami. I think they brought in Chan Gailey for a reason, because they knew they wanted Tua. And I'm excited to see how it works, because I think it's a perfect match.
Yeah, I agree. Now, what is Tua Tagovailoa's ceiling as a player? Do you think he can become an elite quarterback one day, or top 10? What do you think?
I don't think he'll be elite, because I think there's certain things that physically he's not really capable of doing that I see elite quarterbacks doing. Drew Brees is probably the exception to the rule in terms of like physically limited quarterbacks that can still put up absolutely insane numbers. And we hope that Tua can eventually be Drew Brees, but I'm not about to declare him 100% going to be Drew Brees. Like that's like his skill set's similar, but Drew Brees is kind of one of a kind on the field in that way. Tom Brady is the same kind of way. So do I think he'll ever be elite? Probably not, unless he becomes that kind of Hall of Fame caliber player. But I do think he can be a top 10 to 12 quarterback, which with the roster the Dolphins are building around him is probably going to be enough to be a playoff contender every single year. If they really hit big and don't get injured, maybe you could be a Super Bowl contender in a few years. I think they are trending that way, especially defensively. But he's, you listen to Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah's podcast, Move the Sticks. They have a thing they like to say called trucks and trailers. Yeah. Is your quarterback a truck that pulls the trailer, or is he the trailer that gets pulled by the truck? He's more of a trailer type quarterback. Burrow's more of a truck, and that's fine with me. But we just kind of have to be realistic about what he is.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that Tua is a pretty darn good quarterback, but I never really bought into the next Drew Brees, the mix of Russ Wilson. I don't know about that, but I think that he's going to be pretty darn good in Miami in a pretty good situation, I would say. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.